Whom are you seeking?
My Lord! My Lord! They've taken him away! Please, sir, tell me where you laid him, and I will go and get him and take him away from here.
Mary. Mary.
Rabboni, is it you?
Yes, stop clinging to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. To go to my brethren and say to them, I ascend to my Father and your Father, and my God and your God.
My name is Mary Magdalene. I am from the city of Magdala, by the Sea of Galilee. I was born to good parents, but not long after I was born, they died at a very young age. I was passed around between family friends because I was quite wild and no one really wanted me. I soon just became a woman on the streets. I did everything I could to survive. I stole and I cheated and well, I did some very unspeakable things. And soon the demons came. They were like my friends. I just invited them into my life and they tortured me to death. I soon wanted to just die, wanted to kill myself. It was horrible. I just wanted to end it all. Nobody wanted to be around me anymore anyway. I was wicked and evil and I was bent on committing any sin I could to survive. I had no friends, no family would claim me. A life of hope for me had come to an end. Then one day, there was a stirring in the streets of my city. Word was spreading that Jesus, the Messiah, had been seen coming towards our town. So people began running in all directions, heading east to see where Jesus would arrive. The dust just filled this hot summer day as people ran and excitement began to build. They all hoped to be the first person to see Jesus arrive. They lined the streets, even climbing up trees so they could get a glimpse of him, even on the rooftops. I awoke out of this drunken stupor I was in, and I heard the voice. All the noises, the voices. But there was one word that jumped out of that voice and burned deep within my wounded soul. That word was the Messiah. Could it be true? Was the Messiah really coming to my town? I poured some water in a basin and I washed the filth from my face. And as I leaned over the wash, I was startled by the image I saw staring back. My face showed age beyond my years. My hair was knotted and all unkempt. My lip was cut and my eyes were swollen and black and blue. All from the beating I'd taken the night before. But the Messiah was coming. And as I stared at my reflection in the bowl of water, I just knew he couldn't be coming for me. I was beyond his love. I was beyond anybody's love. I was unworthy to even think about looking at Jesus. And when these demons started screaming in my mind, belong to us. The Lord is not coming for people with scum like you. Mary, take that knife and end it all. Well, I took that knife. I took it in my hand. And I was ready to just end it all. Ready to get rid of all this torture in my soul. Nobody would care anyway, I told myself. No one would probably even notice I was dead. The crowd began to shout, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And something inside me just longed to see his face. And I ran toward him and I threw myself at his feet. And the demons began shouting inside of me, what do you have to do with us, Jesus? What do you have to do with us? Then Jesus spoke 2 words, and the 7 demons that had worked my life were gone. They were gone. And I grasped his feet and I just held on to him as all the tears ran down my face. As I sobbed and I sobbed, all the tears washing all the bitterness and disappointment of my life away. And Jesus, he knelt down and he took me by my hands, and new strength rushed into my body as I stood up, and I knew I was changed inside. A warmth was radiating from my heart like I had never known before. And Jesus took my face in his hands, and I looked into his eyes, and he said, Mary, you are free. Go and sin no more. From then on, I was a woman. And I only wanted to be near him because he had totally changed my life. And there was no other I could even go to. So I followed him from city to city. I did what I could for him and the disciples, and I cooked for them, and I bended their clothes, and I helped prepare their meals. And Mary, he said, I love you. And I was there in the upper room, the night that he broke bread with his disciples, telling them that this was his body broken for them. And lifting up the cup, he said that this was his blood shed for them, for the forgiveness of their sins. And then the disciples and Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane to rest and pray after that, their supper. And as I and the other ladies were cleaning up the dishes, I lovingly held that cup that Jesus had lifted before God, remembering his words. This is the blood of the new covenant, given for the forgiveness of your sins. Well, I lay down to rest that night, and I had good sleep, but maybe an hour or 2, when I heard them pounding on the door. It was some of the disciples, and they were crying and shouting and saying things about Judas betraying Jesus in the garden and Jesus being taken away, and they were afraid, for they thought that any minute the soldiers would be coming in to out for them. I went with Jesus' mother, Mary, and we went to the palace, Pilate. We wanted to see what we could find out what they were doing. As they were finishing scourging my Jesus. I saw it as they